sports.
We are the fourth. We are so.
That was a good one. I would say big too, but I might be 20 years old with some gray hair now, but that was an exciting ball game. That was a big win for us.
They don't call it the Wild Wild West for nothing. 3 roller coaster, nail-biting, gray hair growing games so far in Phoenix. And the fun's not over yet for the Braves in the desert. High fly ball, deep left field. Suzuki, track wall, it's gone! A 2-out lightning bolt from Kurt Suzuki, and the Braves have the lead. Shot, fair ball, headed for the corner. Ender's gonna head for extra bases. He's around second. He's on his way to third. The throw there is gonna be laid. It's a triple. Little chopper, Dansby knocks it down. Runner coming home. Short hop throw, and that is your ball game. What a play. What a big league play. What a playoff game type play. Unbelievable. The Braves' crazy roller coaster ride in September continues in Arizona. What a remarkable play by Dansby Swanson to seal away a 1-run victory here at Chase Field last night. Braves try to get out of town with a series win today. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark where the Braves start play today, 3.5 games in front of the Philadelphia Phillies. And Joe, it's easy to see how the Braves' rise to the top of the division might have been sown. A couple of big trades with the Arizona Diamondbacks have really helped Atlanta's cause, and the ex-D-backs have come back to bite their former team in this series.
Yeah, and you know that's fun for them. They love coming back to this building especially and showing what the Arizona Diamondbacks fans what they're missing out on. In particular, Ender Inciarte. He has played a few more games here than Dansby Swanson, but take a look at the numbers that he's put up. A .314 average in 16 games against Arizona and a .341 average here in this building, not to mention the great defense. Great catches going back, great catches coming in. He's been fabulous. Hooked that triple into the corner last night to drive in what proved to be a very key run in the 10th inning. So certainly Ender's enjoying his take against his old club, but so is Dansby. Dansby Swanson, the former first pick overall by the Diamondbacks, came over in the Shelby Miller deal. He's getting his share of hits too, a .304 career mark in 15 games, .290 here in this ballpark, and he hit a big triple last night. But none of that compares to his defense. Defense has been outstanding.
I can't remember a game ending the way it ended last night for the Braves, cutting off the tying run at the plate for the final out. The presence of mind here, Joe, of Dansby Swanson thinking like a base runner and making the play at the plate.
Well, the first runner didn't mean anything. He knew that. He had time to get up. What I loved about this play was the one-hop throw. He didn't try to throw it on the fly and risk it being offline a little bit. He gave Kurt a real nice one-hop throw that was easy to handle.
So that's one big trade that the Braves pulled off with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The other one is Touki Toussaint, a very unpopular trade here in Arizona. A #1 pick that the Braves basically bought from the Diamondbacks for $10 million in the assumption of Bronson Arroyo's deal. So far, the Braves very happy with the returns in this one.
No doubt about it. And he's made the scene here in the big leagues this year. He's made 2 starts, and he had an outstanding first start for a W, and second start was a good one as well. Drafted in 2014, as you said, with their first pick, and what a find he's been for the Braves in that deal for Bronson Arroyo. Opponent's average below 170, and keep in mind he no-hit the Red Sox for the first 4 innings his last time out.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does it say about the caliber of Touki Toussaint's pitching and readiness in the big leagues to face the Red Sox and the Arizona Diamondbacks in back-to-back starts in a pennant race? Well, Kelsey Winkert, what does Brian Snitker say about that as the Braves wrap up the series today?
Well, Chip, you mentioned it was an unpopular trade here in Arizona. Well, it was a very popular trade in Atlanta, and the Braves are so happy to have him. And like you mentioned, another former Diamondback going up against his team. And I asked Touki Toussaint, you know, is there a little bit more of excitement behind this start? And he said, yeah, there is a little fire. I want to face them, and I want to get after it. And you talked about the success Touki has had up here. And he's another one of those names where the Braves were just itching to see what he could do on the big league mound. His teammates are happy, and like you said, so is his manager, Brian Snitker.
Love you.
I haven't liked him. I've loved him. Everything about him. He's a very impressive young man, very impressive player. It's
maturity or that sort of thing?
Oh, yeah. No, carries himself really well. Love his assortment. Love his arsenal is really good. I mean, he's a very athletic kid. He's handling himself tremendous since the 2 starts that he's had here. He faced the best team in baseball the other day and did a really good job. But he's, like I say, the maturity, the game awareness, the whole thing, how he's handled himself has been very impressive.
Snitker just mentioned there him facing the best team in baseball. If you remember, he took a no-hitter into the 5th inning where things kind of unraveled a little bit, but he said it was such a learning experience and he was ready to take the mound, and today he gets to do that against his former team. We've seen the success the other former Diamondbacks have had. Well, now it is Tukey time. We have the series finale and Game 4 coming up between the Atlanta Braves and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tukey Toussaint takes the mound. Chip and Joe leads you up to first pitch next.
Is sponsored by Sherwin-Williams, your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
Been around a long time in this business, Miss Caney.
By your Atlanta Hyundai dealers.
After a win like last night, you can't wait to get back to the ballpark to see what Ronald Acuna and company can do in another major league game. The Braves enter the finale against the Diamondbacks with a chance for Brian Snitker's club to win the series and maybe gain some more ground in the Eastern Division race. It was an absolute madhouse here September roller coaster special between the Braves and the Snakes. It's Robbie Ray's turn to pitch for the Diamondbacks. He's 5-2, Joe, on the year so far.
5-2, a 4.25 ERA, throws hard. He's in the mid-90s, can be up to 96, and an outstanding slider where he gets a lot of swings and misses.
And Ronald Acuna will lead off for the Braves. 2 hits, 2 walks in the game last night. The 2 walks were intentional walks for the Braves outfielder. The first time he's been intentionally walked in his big league career. And a big swing and a miss by Acuna evens up the count, and a ball and a strike. Is it safe to say that Robbie Ray is kind of a clone of Patrick Corbin in his pitching style?
In a way, but he throws harder, I think, than Corbin on a consistent basis. This guy went 15-5 last year with a 2.89 ERA, a real breakout year for him. And he's pitched well this year, but he's had a ton of no decisions. He had a stretch where he had 7 straight no decisions in his starts.
Very fast windup, and like Zach Greinke, you can hear him grunt as he makes his delivery to the plate.
His home road splits 2-1, higher ERA certainly here at home than he has on the road, and last year he was a road warrior. Pitched really well away from Chase Field.
Did he go? He did. There's the slider. Acuna couldn't stop his swing, and he's retired. A check swing strikeout in the top of the first inning gets game 4 started at Chase Field.
Third baseman, number 17.
That's where he will live today. Down and in to the right-handers. That even handcuffed Avila a little bit.
Rays coming off a 10 strikeout game against the Padres. He's got his first strikeout today, and Johan Camargo the batter. Johan's riding a 4-game hitting streak. He's settled in very nicely in that number 2 spot in the batting order. A homer, 2 doubles, and a single in this series. And he's behind, no balls and a strike. And that's outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ray missed a lot of time because of an oblique problem. That's why he's made just 19 starts, including today's against the Braves. And the 1-1 pitch. On a corner, it's a strike. Marty Foster has the plate. It's 1-2. Another swing and a miss. There's that down and in pitch to a right-hand batter. Johan Camargo is struck out. And now Ray has to tangle with a couple of Braves left-handers. As you see, the Toyota starting lineup. Freeman and Markakis starting to heat up. Flowers behind the plate. Albies, Inciarte, Swanson, and Tuki Toussaint will pitch and bat ninth against his former club.
Well, left-handers are not an issue either. Left-handers are only hitting 151 against him this year. That's the lowest average against a left-handed pitcher in the National League.
So Freddie Freeman's the batter. He's got 3 hits in the series. Arizona's done a really good job of pitching to Freeman this year. 7 for 24 and 1 RBI in the first 6 games against the Diamondbacks pitching staff, which has been outstanding. As far as the starting staff is concerned, that's the strength of their club right now.
He gets that pitch today. It's going to be a long day, or a short day, for Atlanta hitters. 95 down and away and a little off the plate. Foster gave him the call.
The 0-2 pitch is swung on, bounced toward first, and Goldschmidt's got it, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Atlanta in a scoreless first. Tuki Toussaint to work next. Diamondbacks, who drafted him just a few short years ago. You know, he's excited to be pitching against the team that brought him into the professional ranks, and he's pitching in a very big spot for the Braves today.
And so far in 2 starts, 10 2/3 innings, he's given up 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, but just a 167 average against him. He's only given up 6 hits in those 10+ innings. His 4 keys to pitching success. Number 1, snake oil. he may need a little bit of that today, because you know the Diamondbacks are a little bit ticked off after last night's loss. And BB, that stands for bases on balls. The Braves are issuing way too many of those in this series. Hopefully he can limit them today.
Braves have walked 22 hitters in 3 games, but lead the series 2-1, with John Jay leading off, and Tukey's first just missed, and his day's underway with ball 1 for John Jay, hitting .241 with Arizona. Couple of homers, 19 knocked in. And an arm side miss makes it ball 2. 2-0 the count.
Lots and lots and lots of leadoff walks.
Way too many.
That raised this series.
There's a strike. In last night's game alone, Arizona cashed in a leadoff walk for a run in the 1st inning, the 2nd inning, the 10th inning, and a walk indirectly led to a run in the 8th inning. And it's a leadoff walk to John Jay. So the Arizona Diamondbacks are getting an awful lot of help from the Braves staff. Torey Lovullo will take all the help he can get. His club starts play today, 2.5 games behind Colorado, whom they face next. Escobar, Goldschmidt, and Pollock as dangerous as they come on the Toyota starting lineup, especially Goldschmidt, who's had a gigantic series so far. So here's Escobar. Eduardo has had a rough series at the plate. He's 1 for 14. And has struck out 4 times. He's also hit into a double play.
That would be nice.
And in for a strike. It's an even count. One thing we've noticed about Touki Toussaint, he has great mound presence, great poise. You don't know if he's up 3-0 or down 3-0 in the game.
Very unflappable, great poise.
He is the 8th youngest pitcher to start a big league game this year. 5 of those 8 youngest players have pitched for the Braves this season.
That's pretty good.
Joining Mike Soroka, Colby Allard, Luis Gohara, and Bryce Wilson.
Maybe trying to do a little too much here. Amped up for this 1st inning against his former organization. He's flying open and missing arm side.
There's a fly ball to right, pretty well hit, but manageable for Markakis. There's the 1st out, and Jay retreats to 1st. As we said in our opening commentary, the deal that the Braves pulled off with the Diamondbacks was, from a financial standpoint, a no-brainer for Atlanta. They basically took on the contract of Bronson Arroyo and the buyout, which amounted to around $10 million. Took the contract off Arizona's hands. The price to do that was Touki Toussaint. Arroyo's not pitching anymore, and now the Braves have another #1 prospect in their system that they didn't have to draft. And with the price of young, talented, potential top of the rotation pitching, $10 million is a bargain.
Yes, it is. And apparently the organization, the Diamondbacks organization, was not 100% in agreement over making Toussaint part of that deal.
But we're glad they did. As Goldschmidt takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Toussaint found out about the deal when the Diamondbacks called him. He was having dinner with his family. Picked up the phone. The Diamondbacks said, "You've been traded." He was 19 years old. Now, here he is in the big leagues. Out of play foul. Goldschmidt a little late. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the rationale for the deal, which was made by Dave Stewart with NGM John Copolello, was we think Tukey's going to be a fine major league pitcher down the road, 3, 4, 5 years from now at the time of the deal. Well, his progress accelerated very quickly this season. And now he's pitching in big September games for the Braves in a pennant race. 1-2. As inside, Goldschmidt is called out on a check swing at first base. Goldschmidt is rung up by Mark Ripperger.
Whoa.
Wow.
That looked like more of a check swing to get out of the way of the pitch that was running in on him. Let's take another look at it. He dropped the barrel of the bat down. How far did it go? You know, that's not as bad as a call as I thought it might be.
Well, remember, it was Ripperger that rung up Ender Inciarte, led him to getting thrown out of the game the other night.
Take that.
So a strikeout of Goldschmidt is the second out of the inning, and now A.J. Pollock is the batter.
That's right. Truck reminds me that Acuna, same thing, a check swing type on his strikeout.
Snap throw back to first, and Freddie didn't get the tag down. They had him, but Freddie a little late getting to the hand of John Jay.
Yeah, they had him. He drops that glove down, they've got him.
So 1 ball, no strikes for Pollock. 260 average. He's hit 16 homers. And a good off-speed pitch. Pollock's 1 for 10 in the series. A sub 200 average since the 1st of August, and was, as fate would have it, he had the 10th inning hit on the infield. What appeared to be a hit until Dansby Swanson came along. Swanson gloved it, scrambled to his feet after the 4th Arizona run scored. He threw a strike to the plate, and on 1 hop, the Braves erased Nick Ahmed to end Game 3 in thrilling 5-4 fashion. That was as big league a play as we've seen anywhere in a long time.
Sure was. Heads up play. Pollock has hit leadoff twice in this series. He's hit 5th in the series, and today he's hitting cleanup.
So the best pitch for Toussaint so far has been that off-speed delivery. Let's see if he doubles up on Pollock with Jay the runner at first after a leadoff walk. Flowers smothered that, and now with a 3-2 count, almost certainly Jay will be running. Braves have not won a series in Arizona since 2012. If they can win today, they'd leave town winning 3 out of 4. No score, bottom of the 1st inning. Short lead by Jay. Tukey comes set. Runner goes, and the pitch, a check swing roller towards short. Dansby backhand, fires to first, and in time, and Tukey pitches around on leadoff walk. He's off to a good start. We go to the 2nd inning. Nick Markakis, red hot, leads off for the Braves. Heating up in September. He's our Synovus Greatness Made Here feature.
Yeah, it was great to see him get back on the beam. 8 games here in September. Great average, driving in runs and moving runners over.
That was an unbelievable play last night. In the 10th inning, more proof. Nothing good happens when you strike out. Put it in play, something good could happen, and it did for the Braves. That little dribbler led to 2 runs, and he smokes this ball to left. And on the first pitch, John Jay hauls it in. Markakis retired, and Ray has retired 4 in a row. Even his outs are starting to sound loud. That's good news.
Bobby Ray was originally in the Washington system. He was a 12th round pick in 2010. They traded him to Detroit along with others for Doug Fister. And then came here in a deal that involved Didi Gregorius.
Well, as you said, 15-5 last year. 5-2 this year with an oblique problem. Part of a very impressive Arizona starting rotation. And the Braves have seen all their good ones in this series, starting with Zach Greinke. They gave up 4 runs in 5 1/3 innings. Corbin 1 run in 6 innings. Buchholz 1 earned run in 6 1/3 yesterday.
I think generally speaking, most of us, including me, felt like if the Braves could come in here and split against those 4 pitchers, that would be a real bonus, especially when last night they pick up their 2nd win. So anything above that is gravy. But knowing that on Sunday you have a veteran lefty who's real hot right now against a rookie, advantage Arizona.
That's taken low. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the Braves catcher Tyler Flowers. But it's time to get greedy.
Yeah.
Take 3 out of 4 if you can, and then head to San Francisco, where we start a series tomorrow night. Way high. And he is max effort with every pitch. That one 94.
He is real spread out on his, when he gets his sign, real wide stance. You don't see that very often. And right into a leg kick.
Ray credits a mechanical adjustment he made in a start before he faced the Nationals as turning things around for him. A terrific roll. A 1.08 ERA in his last 3 starts, with now 29 strikeouts in 18 innings. So he's got it working. 2 strikeouts. Excuse me, 3 strikeouts for Ray, 2 outs in the 2nd inning.
He's also one of those guys that if he goes 6 or more innings, he's going to win the game. That kind of goes hand in hand most times these days, just 6 innings. But he's 3-0 with a 1.15 ERA if he goes 6 or more.
Ozzie showed bunt and was pushed off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Albies 2 for 14 in this series. His average at 269 for the year. He had a 3-game hit streak interrupted last night. Little chopper hit toward 3rd. Nice play, and Escobar retires Albies, and Ray is set down 6 in a row to start his day.
inning of work. And you heard Chip talking about the story when he got the call that he had been traded. He missed the call. His low-weight pitching coach actually had to call his former teammate and tell him to get Tukey on the phone, and that's whenever Tukey found out he was traded. But he told me he didn't fully believe them, and then he finally got the call from the Braves, and his family broke out in cheer, and today making his third big league start of the year, first versus the team who drafted him. And Chip and Joe, I asked him, what kind of excitement does it bring out? And he said, you know, it does bring out a little fire. I want to face you, and I want to get after it. So, Tukey, get after it, kid.
Leadoff walk and a strikeout for him in the first inning. And Daniel Descalso will lead off for the Diamondbacks here in the second. Descalso had one of the memorable at-bats of the game last night. In the ninth inning, Diamondbacks had the bases loaded. And off Chad Sabatka, he hit a screaming missile to center field that Ender caught to end that threat. A little ground ball hit toward Ozzie. He'll make short work of Descalso. One up, one down.
Ender got a good jump on that ball on that line drive last night, but just hung up long enough for him to come get it.
How about Shane Carl in the eighth inning? He got a line out to second after he fell behind the count 3-0. That would have been a go-ahead run. I mean, there were just so many little moments that added up to big things for the Braves in that game yesterday. And while we were all pulling our hair out, grinding our teeth, chewing on our fingernails with all the bases on balls, bottom line is the Braves got out of it and won the game.
This guy made a great defensive play last night. Saved a homer.
Off the bat of Kurt Suzuki. Brought it back right over the yellow stripe and straight away right. That was in the 10th inning. Kurt had a big night. He hit a home run. It put the Braves in front in the 8th, 3-2. One ball, two strikes for Steven Souza. And a hook frozen. Pretty pitch. Change up and breaking ball on point for Toussaint early.
Big right over the top, Uncle Charlie there.
So Nick Ahmed's the shortstop today. Ahmed didn't start last night. Couple of games with some bobbles at the second base bag for Nick, but he's done really good work at the plate in this series. Former Brave. He's got 5 hits in 2 starts and 1 pinch hit appearance in the first 3 games.
Yeah, last night. Solid pinch hit, first pitch to left field.
Off speed. He's settling in nicely. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and changing his arm angle from time to time. Dropping down just a little bit to low 3/4.
Two balls, 1 strike, 2 out. And he had Ahmed backing out of the way of that pitch.
When you get major league hitters to lock up and freeze on the curveball, then you got something working.
And I would think Tukey has an advantage the first time through the order. They haven't seen him except on film. And he's taking advantage of it to this point. The 2-2 is fouled away at the plate. Mid-90s fastball. 74-mile-an-hour curveballs and changeups. And now the 2-2 pitch. Muscled up at 97 there. Alex Avila waits on deck. 2 outs, bases empty. And he pulled that pitch. And Ahmed earns a walk, his second walk for Mr. Toussaint, and the inning continues for the 8th place hitter.
A 2-2 call on the high fastball, you know, up out of the zone to try to get a swing. If you don't get it, it's ball 3, and then you have to throw a strike or you walk the guy.
So the setup pitch didn't pay off for Atlanta. 2 walks for Tukey. And Avila, the catcher, batting 166, will stand in. Let's get this guy and start the bottom of the 3rd with the pitcher. Avila's been on base a handful of times in the series. Heck, who has it for Arizona? Let's be honest.
Pollock's drawn 4 walks. Souza's drawn 5. Everybody in their lineup has pretty much been trying to work the count.
Pitch number 35 coming now, a 1-0. All the way to the screen. And Ahmed will move up on a very wild pitch.
Boy, that was wild.
Twenty-year-old kids will do 20-year-old kid things in big league games. So Tukey can pitch around another walk with the catcher ahead. 2 balls, no strikes. And now 2-1.
Nice control there on the changeup.
So now he's a pitch away from bringing the pitcher up after he got the first 2 outs quickly here in the inning. Both clubs want deep inning starts from their starters today. You want that every day, but especially after the first 3 games of this series. And perhaps a little more so for Arizona because they have 4 games coming up against Colorado at Coors Field. That will be a huge challenge for the Diamondbacks.
They may have to bring up another wave of pitchers.
Good point. Dangerous pitch. And how about that one? A 3-1 curveball.
That's what he's throwing for strikes.
So will the Braves double up on that pitch? Ahmed at second. A walk and a wild pitch has him there. Let's see what Flowers calls for here with no score. It's another breaking ball, and it's rolled over right to first, and Freddie is there, and that will retire the side. Tukey's walked 2 through 2, and Ender Inciarte will lead off a scoreless 3rd for Atlanta.
Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
We've had a few prickly moments for Touki Toussaint in the first 2 innings. Couple of walks and a wild pitch. However, no score, no hits for either club. As we wrap things up here in the Valley of the Sun with Ender Inciarte, another one of those former Diamondbacks who will lead things off. And Ender is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot today.
Last 13 games for this guy, doing what he's been doing in the second half. 340, scoring a bunch of runs, playing great defense. That triple he hooked last night, was that off Chafin? I think it was off Chafin in the 10th inning.
It was.
A left-hander. What did he put a good swing on that?
And that's as much a part of his turnaround in the second half as anything, Joe. He's hitting lefties now.
Absolutely. Staying back, good timing, as he puts it, rhythm, better rhythm.
Well, part of Ender's march to a 200-hit season came with great work against left-handed pitching in 2017. He hit him at a 291 clip. He's not there yet, but he is not an easy out for Southpaws. Hope that continues with Robbie Ray. And the pitch missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ender with 201 hits. Only Charlie Blackmon had more hits among National League players. And in for a strike. It's 1-1.
Again, his fastball sitting around 93, 94, 95. 6'2", 210 out of Brentwood, Tennessee. That's where he was born. He'll be 27 next month.
Lined out of play, foul. Does his grunting, or would his grunting as a hitter, would that be a distraction, or is that something you can zone out?
No, I think you can. I don't think you hear it. No.
We sure can.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a very quick and very effortful delivery.
Effortful. Huh. I like that.
As opposed to effortless, right?
Uh-huh.
And he is really bringing it. And that went off the plate.
Effortful, to be full of effort.
Yes, I couldn't think of the right word. It's early turnaround.
No, I think it's a good one. I haven't heard that one.
Well, there's a lot of stuff you probably haven't heard from this microphone.
You saved some good ones for September.
Yeah, these are big games, man. It's reached deep into the bag time as the 3-2 pitch is on the way and grounded towards second. And the flip to first to take care of Ender. 4 out, number 1. 7 up, 7 down for Ray. And here's Dansby Swanson.
No, I was thinking about last night's game afterwards, and thinking about you and doing play-by-play, Jim Powell over on radio doing play-by-play, and there's base runners all over the place. Every inning there's at least 1 or 2 guys on. Every base runner was instrumental in the outcome of the game, and how it's hard to, for 9 innings, in that case 10 innings, to have that kind of focus so long. And great job.
Well, thank you. It's got to be the same for the manager, Brian Snitker, and Chuck Hernandez and the rest of the staff. These games obviously are critically important, but how do you manage an inning ahead in a tight ball game with all the offense, all the walks, all the bullpen issues that both of these clubs are going through right now? I mean, this is truly September baseball at its finest. And like anything else in this sport, anything worth having doesn't come easy, and it is not coming easy for either one of these teams.
No, and trying to see into the future and see which one of the guys you're bringing out of the bullpen can throw strikes that night, given their workload, who's the best, who's well rested, and that's a hard chore. You just have to think that they're going to do what they typically do, what they've done all year, and rely on that.
And that's why, again, you hope Touki can get you through 5, and then look at your lineup card and see where the game is and see how you mix and match and put it together. The Braves only have 2 off days left. The next one comes Thursday at the end of this road trip. It will be a much needed off day back in Atlanta before we start the final homestand. As that's off the plate, ball 2. To me, that's the most remarkable thing of all for Atlanta. Going back to August 7th, this team's had or will have had 3 off days the rest of the season. And here they are still atop the divisional race. That is really tough. Two and 2. And that missed inside.
Well, the Cubs and Nationals last night played a doubleheader. They played into the wee hours of the morning Eastern time. It didn't finish up till like 1:45 a.m. because they had a rain delay in game 2, but they did finish it. Today they come back, day game, rained out. That game quite possibly could be an October 1st game makeup, depending on the Cubs especially, and even perhaps the Nationals.
Yeah, Washington's not eliminated yet.
No.
And the Cubs with 83 wins. The Braves and Rockies each with 78 wins. If you've got to play that game for home field advantage as the best record in the National League, yeah, they may have to play that. And if they play it October 1st, when would their first round series start?
Yeah, and Milwaukee knocked off a game and a half of their deficit yesterday.
Yeah, so the Brewers are only 2.5 behind Chicago.
Strange times.
Yep. And Milwaukee is leading the Giants in the bottom of the 8th inning at Miller Park today. So Milwaukee could be 2 back if they can finish off San Francisco. 3-2 pitch is hit high in the air toward the pool. Drifting back to the warning track and grabbing it is Souza, and he makes the catch a couple of steps shy of the fence. Dansby gave that a ride. Hardest hit ball for the Braves, but 2 men are out and Tukey's coming up.
Good at bat by Dansby too. Dodging pitches, fouling pitches, and he hit that hard.
So here's Toussaint looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 4 as a big leaguer. As Ray will ready himself. He set down the first 8 in order. And it could already be a very productive day for the Braves. Good news to report from New York. The Mets have beaten the Phillies 6-4. Jacob deGrom was supposed to start that game. There was, as Joe said, bad weather all up and down the East Coast. As this one's hit towards second, they didn't want to risk wasting deGrom. They started Corey Oswalt, and it didn't matter as the Mets win by 2. So Atlanta's lead is now 4 games in the East, but no lead yet in Game 4 in Phoenix. for the bottom of the 3rd inning before Arizona comes up. Let's enjoy our T-Mobile Built for Baseball. Told you the happy news from New York. Everybody loves Michael Conforto in Braves country today.
Opposite field, how about that?
Right off the top of the wall, the play was reviewed and it hit the old M&M sign that got us too earlier this year. Remember that?
Right, I do.
So it was a 3-run home run for Michael Conforto. Mets are playing pretty good baseball. And they have beaten the Phillies 6-4. So Atlanta's magic number is now 17. Could be 16 if they can finish off Robbie Ray. So it's a 4-game lead for the Braves. Ray is a 3-for-33 hitter with 18 strikeouts. So don't walk him. And that's in for a strike. By the way, there was some interesting news out of New York. David Wright, as you know, is working out with the Mets, trying to come back from his shoulder and neck and spinal issues. He's taking ground balls. He hit a home run in a simulated game for New York. And the Mets seem very encouraged. David Wright seems very encouraged that he may actually come back and play this year for the New York Mets.
That'd be terrific.
He has not played in a big league game since May of 2016. That would be the great feel-good story in New York. There are, however, big financial constraints that are involved because of the insurance money that's covering Wright's time on the disabled list. But I'm with you. I hope he comes back. One of my favorite players, David Wright. And such a great ambassador for the game. A swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Tukey, and that's how the home 3rd starts. 2019 schedule is out and A-list memberships are on sale. With the 2019 A-list membership, you'll get access to postseason tickets this year, and you'll get exclusive benefits, priority access, and year-long discounts next year too. Go to Braves.com/A-list today. Tukey appears to have A-type stuff. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and John Jay the batter. Curveball missed low. 1 ball, no strikes. Perfect pitch. Like you said about Robbie Ray, if he puts it there, it'll be a long day for Arizona's hitters too.
And I love the way he's already made an adjustment after missing a lot arm side in the 1st inning.
There's the first hit of the game. John Jay into left center, and he's aboard with 1 out. He didn't hit it hard, but he guided it to the left side of the infield and found a hole.
That was up a little bit. Target was down between the knees and the belt. Good swing by Ray.
So here's Escobar. He flied out to right his first time up. Eduardo is 0 for 1 and 1 for 15 in the series. He's gotten the ball on the ground 3 times. Braves have a shift on for Escobar. Dansby on the first base side of the bag at second. And that's off the plate for an even count. Little pop, but Dansby's going to catch that. Look at him range toward shallow left. Escobar sawed off, 2 outs, and here's Goldschmidt, who was rung up on a check swing in the opening inning. As a baseball fan, I love watching this guy play. As a Braves fan, I'm glad we don't have to see him the rest of the year after today.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. But unfortunately, he's got about 3 more at bats tonight.
Yeah.
Today.
Didn't get that one. A swing and a miss. Fans in the East who don't see Goldschmidt much are missing out on a terrific player, much like the fans in the West who don't see Freddie Freeman play. Gold Glover, big time run producer, gets on base.
And until this year, big time base stealer too.
Double digits in 5 of his first 7 big league campaigns. Out of Texas State University. How's that missed? Ball 2. It's one thing to have success drafting number 1 and number 2 draft choices. When you get a perennial all-star in the 8th round, you have a great find. That is taken low. Goldschmidt was born in Delaware but moved to Houston as a kid, and he was a huge Astros fan, especially Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio.
Long list of those guys. Long list of fans of those 2 players.
Yes, sir. So dangerous pitch here. 3-1, and Goldschmidt takes ball 4. They work around him and will go after Pollock with 2 on, 2 out. That is 3 walks for Tukey. Here's Pollock, 2 on, 2 out. Dansby took care of him with a backhand stab and a strike to first in the first inning. That's a milestone walk, by the way, for Paul Goldschmidt. We'll explain after the first pitch to Arizona's center fielder, which floats in for a strike. Told you about Goldschmidt getting on base. Well, 651 career walks. That's a new franchise record. He's passed Luis Gonzalez for first place. No balls and a strike. And in the air, softly hit toward Markakis, and he'll put that away, and that retires the side. Arizona has stranded 4 men through 3 innings. We go to the 4th, where the top of the order's coming up. No score. retired in order in the first 3 innings. 9 up, 9 down, but Ronald is our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature, and he's been feasting of late.
8 homers, 14 RBIs last 26 games. A lot of runs scored, and he's got more stolen bases than we thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear how that happened as Acuna called out on strikes his first time up. Takes ball 1.
He came into the game with 12, but the official score changed a ruling last night in the 9th inning where he took second on what was originally called defensive indifference. It's been changed to a stolen base.
All right. So he's got 13 of them now. As that one floats in for a strike, it's 1-1. Well, since moving to the #1 spot, Acuna has been maybe the best leadoff hitter in baseball. A .411 on base percentage, 40 runs, a .328 batting average. He's hitting for power, working counts. And I can't remember a 20-year-old kid being this comfortable batting first in Major League Baseball in a long, long time. So in a season where we keep talking about little things that make big differences, how about Brian Snitker entrusting the #1 spot to Ronald Acuna Jr. after the break? And that has been a stroke of genius.
Good leadoff hitters like having some ability to influence the way a game starts and the flow of it, and he certainly fits that.
Oh, home run cut, didn't get it. And it's 3-2. And Acuna's aboard. First Braves base runner, a leadoff walk. Braves cashed in a couple of those in this series. None bigger than the 10th inning. It was Freddie Freeman who reached with what proved to be a gigantic run. And now Atlanta can play some games here with Ray, perhaps. Runner at first, nobody out. Camargo the batter.
Ray does walk a few people. That was number 53 in 100 innings. Walked 2 his last time out in 6 1/3 innings. Struck out 10 against the Padres. Didn't give up a run. Good lead.
Not going. And the pitch is rolled foul. Ron Washington, oh, with a nice play to keep it in front. Couldn't handle it cleanly, though. That's rare.
Guy managed in this city for many years in the Giants organization in AAA, named Rocky Bridges. A real character. If he had a ground ball hit to him like that and bobbled it, he'd take his hat off and fan the ball like it was too hot.
No balls and a strike. Runner goes. Breaking ball. Avila's throw is going to be way high, and Acuna swipes second.
He has some funny landings. We've seen him slide head first, roll over backwards, still hang on to the bag somehow. Good crossover step there. And watch this finish. Staying on the bag, but I still got it.
With a fingertip. Notice that wasn't the whole hand, just a fingertip. Which is all he needed. And now Camargo with a base hit could put the Braves in front. He, however, down 2 strikes. Better keep an eye on Acuna, too, with Camargo batting right-handed. And Ray, a left-hand pitcher. It's not out of the realm of possibility. He might try to take third here. However, there's nobody out. That would be a calculated gamble.
Yeah, I'd give Johan a chance to move him over. That was what was so impressive about Nick's little rollover last night. That was with 2 strikes. put things in motion.
The 1-2, instead a fake to second. Dodgers are walloping the Rockies 8-2 in the 6th inning. Arizona faces Colorado next. We're headed to San Francisco. The Giants were just defeated by Milwaukee 6-3 at Miller Park.
That's 8 straight losses for San Francisco.
They have had trouble scoring runs all year, and that problem's been really magnified with Buster Posey out with season-ending hip surgery.
Andrew McCutchen being traded to the Yankees.
That didn't help him either. So down here for San Francisco. The Braves will not face Madison Bumgarner in that set. Derek Rodriguez greets us in game 1 tomorrow night. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Impatience from Camargo, making Ray work here. All of a sudden, he set down the first 9 batters in order. Walked Acuna on a 3-2 pitch. Ronald stole second, and now Camargo, after falling behind 0-2, is in a 2-2 count.
Bumgarner took the loss today in that game for the Giants.
Ray is ready. Here comes the 2-2. And Camargo dribbles another one down the line. Foul. And Ray, I'm sure, is saying to Escobar, why are you making me run all the way to the bag? Why don't you knock it foul? Couldn't save him a few steps. Acuna's going. Pitch is low. Throw to third is going to get it. A perfect throw from Avila. Wow.
That impatience cost him scoring position. Not a big lead. And Avila, with a tough pitch to throw on, put it right on the bag. That was not a great piece of base running with nobody out.
So the first out at third, the catch and tag all in one motion. And now Camargo with a full count, and Ray back to the windup with 1 out now. So if Ronald was going on his own, you got to make sure you make it. He didn't. And Camargo checks his swing. He'll make his way to first with 1 out. So instead of 2 on and nobody out for Freeman, you've got a runner at first with 1 out. And back-to-back walks for Ray.
One of the things about trying to steal third base is having some momentum going that way toward third, getting a walking lead and not being flat-footed. And Acuna was not able to do either one of those.
So here's Freddie. He rolled out to Goldschmidt and is 0 for 1. That pitch against the shift, but outside, ball 1. Ahmed, Descalso, and Goldschmidt on the right side. Escobar, the Lone Ranger, on the left, and way off the line at third. Would love to see one of Freddie's patented inside-out liners down the left field line right here. But what's plagued him in this series, Joe, are a ton of swings and misses.
More in one series than I can remember.
At one point he had 19 of them in total in the late innings yesterday. 1 here evens the count.
But as we said in our opening comments, he's trending in a good way. Looks like he's coming out of it a little bit.
And that pitch is one that first 2 games out here, he was swinging and missing. But not in this spot. And he's worked the count to his favor. Nick Markakis on deck. Camargo at first. Acuna walked, stole second, tried to steal third, and was thrown out. And that's why we're still scoreless into the 4th inning of Game 4.
Good take. So now if you're Robbie Ray, do you go to your strength, your slider, just try to throw it for a strike, or do you go back to the fastball?
Well, with a 3-1 count, look at where Escobar is playing now. He's moved closer to second base. He's got the whole left side to play with now. And he took a shot that way and fouled it off. 3-2. Great catch in the second deck. Take a bow, sir. Why not?
It's like he's practiced that.
So it's a 3-2 count for Freeman. And Camargo checked back at first. Second time through the order. Ray is piling up the pitches. He's about to make his 20th here in the 4th inning. He's got 1 out. A bouncing ball hit towards second. 1 there. Go to first is going to be in time, and Ray works around a 3-1 count to get a double play off the bat of Freddie Freeman. No luck for the Braves in the 4th. Still scoreless.
The 4th inning, we saw some good defense in that last half inning, and as we know, Dansby Swanson with an incredible play last night to end the ball game. And we asked him after the game, what are you thinking when that ball comes off the bat? He said, get there at all costs. In that situation, if you're able to knock it down, he said it's kind of like a win. You really just want to keep it on the infield. But he said he knew the runner would go because that's how he would play offensively. And he said he thought it was the right play on both sides, but he didn't think anybody anticipated he would actually be able to make the play. And as we know, Chip and Joe, he did make the play, and I think that's one we'll be talking about for quite some time.
That was as big a play at shortstop as we've seen Kelsey in a long time. Heads up, kept it on the infield, had the presence of mind to scramble to his feet quickly, threw accurately to the plate, gave Kurt a big hop to play with, and he got Ahmed, quite frankly, by a good 3-4 feet.
I want to show you another angle too. Tony Perez-Chico, the third base coach, was waving him home. And watch, when he sees Dansby come up with this ball, it's like, oh no, you gotta be kidding me.
Sharply hit towards second. Ozzie will take care of Descalso. And there's the out.
Like his knees crumbled when he saw Dansby get up with the baseball.
Yeah, I talked with Brian Snitker about that play too. As you know, Brian for so many years was the Braves' third base coach. In a spot like that, with runs so tough to come by for either club, as a third base coach, it's a do or die play. You are banking on your team's ability to score by forcing the other club to make 4 great plays. The stop, right? The throw, the catch at the plate, and then the tag. Something you don't see too often in a game-deciding situation. That was one of the times where the Braves made the play and earned the win as a result. It was as good as it gets. Here's Souza. He struck out at a breaking ball his first time up. So he's 0 for 1. Only 1 hit combined in the game. Arizona has it. No one scored yet. Line right at Ozzie. Perfectly placed. Sharply hit. 2 outs.
We've seen Nick do that a time or two lately. We've seen Dansby hit it some tough luck like that. But I'll tell you what, when you hit a ball that perfectly and there's somebody standing there, it's heartbreaking. Even if he does play for the other team.
Is that where you start to think as a hitter, I'm just out of hits?
Oh boy, what is he doing there?
So 2 quick outs. Let's see if Tukey can have his first 1-2-3 inning here. Nick Ahmed walked and was left stranded in the second. Arizona's left 4 on base. Braves with nobody left. And no hits against Robbie Ray. Just joining us, Mets beat the Phillies 6-4 today. Atlanta 4 games ahead in the division. Magic number trimmed to 17. While the Braves are playing in San Francisco, the Phillies will tangle with the Washington Nationals in a series at Citizens Bank Park.
And the forecast is not real good.
No. In fact, the forecast for the East Coast later this week is absolutely awful. Hurricane Florence is intensifying, and they're talking about 8-10 inches of rain from North Carolina all the way up the eastern seaboard, as it's supposed to stall and hover right off the coast for a couple of days. That's awful. Hopefully Mother Nature will push that storm well back out to sea so no one's troubled by that. Ahmed, 3 balls and a strike, and takes inside. So Tukey walks Ahmed for the second time with 2 outs. And he'll go after Alex Avila. That's 4 walks for Toussaint. He had 4 walks in his first 2 starts combined entering play today. Avila's ground out ended the second inning. One ball, no strikes.
He's dropping that curveball into a good spot, just a little low to even get the call. He did get Avila to swing at the breaking ball his last time up, and rolled it over to the right side.
This one's bounced up the middle. The field and fire by Dansby is in time, and that retires Avila. And Arizona's out of luck in the 4th inning. Tukey and Ray having a good game so far, and we're off to the 5th. Phoenix.
Visit your nearest Advance Auto Parts store to get the quality parts you want from people that know a lot about them.
Nick Markakis will lead off inning number 5 for Atlanta. Flowers and Albies to follow. Robbie Ray has walked a couple of men. A double play bailed him out of some trouble in the 4th inning, as did an attempted steal of 3rd that didn't work for the Braves. So no score as Markakis leads off. He had a line drive right at John Jay, leading off the 2nd inning. Nick having a super September. He's on a nice roll at the plate. 11 hits in his last 6 games plus today. And batting .311 for the year. Nick entered play today 4th in the National League in batting average. The 0-1 pitch pushed him off the plate. Scooter Gennett of Cincinnati leads the league. Christian Yelich 2nd. Ben Zobrist of the Cubs 3rd. In the National League batting chase.
Well, Zobrist has just kind of moved and plowed his way right up there, hadn't he?
Very much so. Some are touting him as the comeback player of the year in the league. As this one's popped up toward left, and Jay will make the play for out number 1.
See, I'm a big proponent of that person, that comeback player, the word coming back from an injury, from being out of the game, something along those lines, not a guy just coming back from an off year.
Well, Zobrist certainly had an off year for the Cubs last season, but he's been a force for him this year, especially with Chris Bryant being out so long. He and so many other Cubs have stepped up and done real good work for Joe Maddon's club, which was rained out today in Washington. Well, they had terrible weather that whole series. Tyler struck out in the 2nd inning. Ray with 4 1/3 hitless frames. And he's had everything working for the most part here in the first half of the game. As Joe said, if this guy goes 6 or more, you are going to have your hands full. Braves last faced this man in 2016.
Yeah, and he's not beaten the Braves. 0-2 with an ERA just under 5. Certainly a different guy than he was in 2016 after the brilliant year last year.
That's into the upper deck foul. And it's still a ball and 2 strikes. Colorado's trying to come back at home. Dodgers lead them 8-5 now in the 6th inning. A 3-run lead at Coors Field is nothing.
Neither is a 6-run.
Good point. And that's where Arizona has to go next. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we've talked about it a lot. The 2019 schedule that's already out. The Braves will be done with the Rockies very early in the season. I think that's a huge advantage to get your series in Coors Field with over as an Eastern Division club as soon as you can. I wouldn't want to be Arizona going in there now. I wouldn't want to be the Phillies having to go there for 4 games in September. No. With the state of pitching staffs this time of year. This one's hammered down the right field line, but it's slicing and will play.
Yeah, and just hope that you get all your games in and don't have to go back on an off day.
Right. So that's another thing to factor in as the Braves keep chugging along, leading this division. While the Braves are in New York to play the Mets in the final week of the year, the Phillies have 4 games against the Rockies and then have to fly home and play Atlanta. The final 3 regular season games at Citizens Bank. sometimes, Joe, as Tom Glavine has said, it's not so much the games in Denver, which are difficult enough, but the adjustments you have to make the first start after pitching or playing at Coors Field.
And how hard you have to work in those starts at Coors Field.
Good battle here with Tyler Flowers and Robbie Ray. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's the 8th pitch of this sequence. Braves have done a much better job of making him work since the 3rd inning or so. And those deep counts and those walks at times have been what have plagued Ray, as well as high strikeout totals, which by definition require deep counts.
Tyler's seeing the ball well this at bat.
But not well enough there. Ray pulled a string on him, and he strikes out Flowers for the 2nd time. That's number 4 in the game. And Ozzie Albies the batter.
3-2, big old roundhouse curveball, and Tyler couldn't catch up to it.
Ozzie's 0 for 1. He grounded out to 3rd. He's 2 for 15 in the series and almost got hit. 1 ball, no strikes. Something's troubling Robbie Ray, so he'll step off the mound. Braves are seeing over 6 pitches per at bat the 2nd time through the order now. Hope that continues.
Ray's done a lot of stretching type moves with his arms this inning, crossing them over, bringing them back kind of behind him, twisting at his waist. Nice pitch, 2-0 there.
There's one of those stretchy moves as he gets his sign. 2 balls and a strike. And dropped another one in. 2-2. You can throw off speed stuff for strikes and fastball counts. You can have a big game and a big year. Ray's doing that. Rays don't have a hit yet. Had 2 base runners. Those were walks. But he's gone full again. 3-2. Avila the sign. The payoff pitch is downstairs. Another walk. So a 2-out pass is the 3rd of the day for Ray. And Ender's coming up. He grounded out his first time up.
This is the pitch before. Walked off the mound, and again, see that move there on his hip or lower back. Again, he was out with an oblique, right?
Yep. Well, he's due to hit first in the bottom of the 5th inning. He's only thrown 73 pitches. But right now he doesn't look all that comfortable. See if Ender can take advantage of that. Runner at first, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. Pitches last inning for Ray. That's because of the bases on balls. He's thrown 19 pitches so far here in the 5th inning with a strikeout and a walk. Goldschmidt holds Albies at first. The pitch is off the screen, foul. It's 0-2. Andrews got his work cut out for him here behind in the count. And the pitch is right down the middle, called strike 3, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, one man left. Ray with 5 no-hit hittings, but has got no run support. Brought to you by Georgia Power with the Los Bravos ticket package. You'll get a game ticket and a custom flag at SunTrust Park. And the Braves will be wearing their special Los Bravos jerseys. Go to Braves.com/Los Bravos for all the info. Let's see how Robbie Ray fares at the plate. He's been checking out his back a couple of times over the last inning or two. He struck out in the second inning, excuse me, the third inning, and leads off the fifth in a scoreless game. Jay then Escobar to follow. And that one's rolled out of play. No balls, 2 strikes.
I don't think that felt good either.
The 0-2 pitch. Oh, bounced off and hit him in the left hand. That's his pitching hand. Thought for a minute that might have got him in the face, but I think it got the hand first, and he says he's all right.
Yeah, hand or wrist.
That pushed him off the plate. It's 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Tukey retires Ray on strikes for the second time. That's 4 punch-outs for the young Braves right-hander. 1 away. And the man he hasn't retired yet is John Jay. He's walked in single. Let's see if Tukey can take care of that. And he's had a share of base runners, but he hasn't wilted under the pressure. Made some big pitches when he's had to. And again, he's only given up 1 hit. Just his 3rd big league start. And it's work like that that it makes you understand why Brian Snitker said how much he loves watching this kid pitch.
Sure. Well, and he pitched on the 3rd against Boston. So with this extra man in the rotation, all the starters, no matter if you just got called up or if you've been in the rotation all year long. Everybody's getting an extra day, so that helps keep you fresh. And a great year in AA and AAA combined, 9-6. And a 2.38 ERA. Won his last 3 decisions before winning his first major league game.
No balls, 2 strikes. And that missed low and away. It's 1-2. Tukey was rolling along last time he faced the Red Sox, and they strung together some extra base hits. That was a real shame. He looked very good, very comfortable against Boston in that game. 3 straight doubles in the top of the 5th inning. And 3 runs came in, and that's all Boston needed for an 8-2 victory. Bouncing ball right to Freddie. He'll take it on a big hop, and that's the second out. Jays retired for the first time. Here's Escobar 0 for 2. In the 6th, Braves will try to get their first hit. Swanson, Toussaint, and Acuna, the trio do. That's taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. Big sports weekend, as we've said a couple of times here in Phoenix. The Braves and Diamondbacks, 28,000 plus here today. Washington Redskins are in town playing the Arizona Football Cardinals. Redskins were at our team hotel. Michigan State played Arizona State and lost in a very exciting game late last night.
Boy, what a great start for the Sun Devils.
2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. He is outside, ball 3. Don't put this guy out in front of Goldschmidt.
No, sir.
They can put it in plays. Had a rough series. The 3-1. Got a strike call there. It's 3-2. Escobar was thinking about a walk. So Tukey's ready. His payoff. Swing and a miss. How about that comeback? He buried a fastball, and he has his first 1-2-3 inning. He's got 5 strikeouts. Ray has 5 strikeouts. Only 1 hit combined so far in Game 4. Stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. Time for a hit and a runner, 2 to boot. We are through 5 innings in the desert. No score. Dansby Swanson, Touki Toussaint, and Ronald Acuna Jr. are coming up. We'll see how Robbie Ray fares. Looked a little uncomfortable on the mound in the last inning. And missed with his first. Ball 1. As you said, he's kind of like Patrick Corbin, but throws harder. That's borne out by the stats last season. Ray had the 4th highest fastball velocity on average of any left-handed starter in baseball last year. James Paxton, Chris Sale, and Blake Snell slightly ahead of him.
It's a pretty good foursome.
Yeah. Braves have beaten Sale and Snell this year. They'd love to add Ray to that list. Dansby couldn't pull the trigger and took a strike. He just rears back and wings the baseball to the plate.
But it's a very aggressive windup, isn't it? I mean, from that wide stance, he just kind of takes one little step to the right with his right foot, and then it's not just to propel his leg up.
Dansby took that, and once again a deep count. He's been piling those up over the last 2 or 3 innings.
With that accelerated windup and grunting as he's letting it go, just again makes it hard to stay back on anything off speed.
He's gone to a 3-ball count 6 times, the 2nd time through the order. So the pitches really adding up now. And now the 3-2. Fouled away. Only went to a 3-ball count twice to the first 9 hitters, and he retired all 9 of them in order to start the game.
His last 6 outings, 101 on the pitch count, 106, 107, 104, 106, 101. So he's still got a few left in there, provided he's okay with all these moves to try to stay loose.
Did Dansby go? He did. He couldn't check his swing on ball 4. That's a shame. And Touki bats with the bases empty, 1 out. Ray got him to chase it, and that's his 6th strikeout.
That's a big pitch for Ray. And there's that breaking ball, trying to lay off, hard to do with all that motion, especially 3-2.
And Dansby knew it. So a big pitch brings up Touki, who bounced out to second in the Atlanta 3rd. Braves have no hits until now. First big league hit for Touki Toussaint comes against his former club, and he didn't waste any time. He rifles a single past Escobar, and the Braves have a man aboard with 1 out. Get that young man the baseball.
What a way to get it. Break up a no-hitter. He hit the ball hard to second base his first time up and turned on a fastball. Got his foot down. That was a good swing. We've talked about his ability to field his position. Good athlete. Now we see a good swing at the plate.
So now cash this in. Fly ball well hit to right. Souza back at the track. It's gone. Back-to-back hits and a 2-run homer for Acuna. It's 2-0 Atlanta. These are 20-year-old kids, folks.
And going the other way with authority. Jumped on the first pitch. Fastball this time, instead of turning on it like Toussaint did, Ronald takes him the other way. Heads up in the camera well over there.
25th home run for Acuna.
And speaking of 25, he didn't come up till April 25th.
If the Braves win this division and he keeps hitting around .330 out of the leadoff spot and is averaging almost a run a game batting first, and if he hits 20 or 25 or more homers after the break, not only will I think he'd be in the Rookie of the Year conversation, but how about the MVP conversation?
No argument here.
Especially as a 20-year-old. The Braves have struck first, a hit by the pitcher, and then on the very next pitch, Acuna plants one over the fence in right. Acuna is one of 7 players in history with 25 home runs in a year before he turned 21. And no bigger homer than that one to put the Braves in front. Camargo pops out, 2 away. I mean, again, we keep saying these things. When he's on that streak of hitting homers leading off games, we're writing things down in the scorecard for Ronald Acuna that haven't been happening for the Braves and in baseball in 100 years.
Right.
So what a second half for Acuna, who's hit 25 home runs now. Roughly half of them, Joe, have given the Braves the lead. You talk about clutch stat. That's MVP caliber stuff.
Sure it is.
So the Braves have a lead for Tukey. Freddie's the hitter with 2 outs and nobody aboard. And downstairs, ball 2. Goldschmidt, Pollock, and Descalso will be the trio for Toussaint in the home 6th. And a strike. 2-1.
There's that pitch again. It seems like it's been to Freddie each time he's thrown one just a little off that low outside corner, but gotten the call. Tried again. Really tried to get Freddie to go after it and missed.
Three balls and a strike. And Freddie takes a walk. So as you said, Joe, Ray will issue a walk or 2. He's actually issued 4 in this game to go with 6 strikeouts. He's given up a grand total of 2 hits. The 3rd time through the order has been a problem for him. And now his pitch count approaching 100. And Arizona's bullpen is beginning to stir in the 6th inning. And Mike Butcher's going to come on and try to give him a breather and give his relievers a chance to start to loosen their legs, perhaps.
When Freddie draws a walk like that, after the Braves have already put 2 runs on the board, it's another sign to me that he's being patient. He's not trying to do too much on every pitch that Ray or any other pitcher throws him. If he's seeing the ball better and laying off those borderline pitches, that's a good thing. Even that 2-0 strike that was called really wasn't, by the diagram anyway, a strike. Marty Foster's been consistent calling it, but that wasn't a pitch he was going to be able to do anything with anyway.
So why swing at it and cause yourself the misery?
And again, I think it's just a good sign for him going forward from where he's been.
Good signs for Nick Markakis. He's stung the ball twice to left field. Nick riding a 6-game hit streak that he hopes to continue here in the 6th inning. Game 4 in the desert. Approaching 3 o'clock local time, 6 o'clock back in most of Braves country. Atlanta gets 2 hits in the 6th inning. Touki Toussaint's first big league hit, and he came home on Acuna's opposite field home run on the very next pitch. And that's where we are, 2-0. Pitch. Nice play, Avila, ball in the dirt. Freeman had to hustle back to first.
Alex Avila, such a good defensive player. Between 2010 and 2017, only one other catcher threw out more base stealers than Alex, and that was Salvi Perez of Kansas City. He's good on balls in the dirt. You know, I know that soft area out in front of home plate is helpful to the pitchers, kind of slows down some ground balls. But it's hard on the catchers to try to figure out where on a ball in the dirt the ball's going to go.
Plus the sandstorm that comes out of the dirt flying up.
What do they call those sandstorms?
Haboob.
Haboob. Well,
it's kind of what our producer calls us.
Yeah. I was just thinking about pitcher coming up with a pitch. I'll come up with a good haboob and get the hitters to swing at it.
2 balls, no strikes. Just heard Major League history, folks, as the 2-0 pitch is on the way. Might be the first time the word haboob has been used in a big league game. Way to go, Joe.
You grew up in Oklahoma. A lot of times you're playing baseball, like high school games. You're playing in a haboob.
Right.
Wind blowing about 50.
2 balls and a strike. Well, you could hear Ronald and Ozzie right down by our first base microphone. Those guys are having the time of their lives, and we are too, watching them play. Two balls and a strike. Freddie's running, and the pitch shot to the right side. Nice play to Scalzo, and the throw to first robs Markakis. Braves had a hit and run on. Nick tried to fill the gap, but Descalso knocked it down. Ronald Acuna Jr. after a Touki single launches one to right, and Atlanta has scored the first runs in Game 4. You'll step into the visiting locker room on September 27th, SunTrust Park. You'll put on your personalized Braves uni, lace up your cleats, and take the field like your favorite players. Sign up today at Braves.com/Brave for a day. Touki Toussaint is shutting out Arizona. He's throwing a one-hitter. He has struck out 5.
Needs a shutdown inning here.
It's the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Diamondbacks. Goldschmidt gets things started and takes low, ball 2. Toussaint already with his first big league hit. Now leads by a pair as Goldschmidt fouled it off.
I love it when he does that. That's his sinker, and he's had a lot of called strikes on his sinker today. But I like it when he drops his arm angle down a little bit.
He's really had all of his weapons from Escobar forward in this game. He walked John Jay, a little first inning nerves, you'd think. And there's another sinker. He's going to glove it and throw out Goldschmidt. That's such a valuable pitch in this hitter-friendly ballpark, and he's used it with great effect. He gets the leadoff man, and here's Pollock. Goldschmidt, by the way, 0 for 2 in this game, and 0 for his last 6 in the series. Seven groundouts for Toussaint and 5 strikeouts. Arizona's bullpen is busy. Juan Lopez maybe making his big league debut in the game tonight as Pollock takes ball 1. I gave Lopez a lot of money to sign here. Two balls, no strikes for Pollock.
We saw earlier, I believe it was 97 that registered for Toussaint. He's been around 95 at times, but when he gets behind in the count, especially now when he's got the lead, he's not going max effort on all the pitches. He's trying to throw the ball over the plate at 92. Good for him.
Ground ball the other way. That's a good piece of hitting by Pollock. Big hole on the right side, and he filled it for the second Arizona hit.
Second baseman,
Fastball ran in on him a little bit. He was trying to keep his hands in and go that way. Good for Pollock.
So runner at first with 1 out. Descalso the batter. He's played Pepper with Ozzie twice. A third time would be just fine with us. We might be able to get 2 out of it. Braves 2, Arizona nothing. Diamondbacks have left 5 on base. The Braves have stranded but 2.
Walking out to the bus after one of the earlier games in this series with Touki Toussaint and talking to him. Braves fans are going to love this guy. He is such a good kid. So humble, very mannerly.
Multilingual, multicultural. I mean, truly is a kid of the world. He's not overwhelmed by this.
No. Fans are going to love him.
Pitching for so much more than just the Braves and for himself and for his family. He is of Haitian descent. There have not been many major leaguers from Haiti. And here he is representing that proud Caribbean nation. And he'll want to talk this one over with Tyler Flowers as he's got Descalso behind 0-2. As we said, that sinker's been very effective for him. An excellent curveball and changeup at times too. What do you do with Descalso here with 2 strikes?
Well, I would speculate to say that, I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of planning here on Tukey's part as much as listening to Tyler about, let's do this. I'm going to suggest that we have a setup pitch and go to this. What do you think? And let Toussaint decide, of course, but you know, Tukey didn't call for the meeting. He's doing whatever Tyler wants him to do. But one of the things about that meeting is that Tyler probably obviously had an idea about what the sequence that he needs to try to get him out now. Just showed him the curveball there.
Rays bullpen phone ringing as Toussaint pushing toward 100 pitches. 1 on, 1 out. Home 6th. And that curved around the plate. So now it's 2-2. That went all the way to the screen. So Pollock moves up 90 feet, and the count all of a sudden full to Descalso.
That was not part of the meeting.
It's going to be called a pass ball.
As it should have been. But again, that's that 2-2 high target. That's hard to put where you want. And again, if you don't get it where you want, if you don't get a swing, all of a sudden it's 3-2.
So let's see what the Braves cook up here. And he lost him after getting ahead 0-2. So at 99 pitches, 2 on, 1 out. Souza the batter. He has struck out and lined out. Tukey's still a ground ball away from getting out of the inning.
And give him a chance to get out of it, at least to get one more out. I think that's good for him. It also saves the bullpen an extra guy.
Breaking ball bounced up. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's 4 curveballs to the last 2 hitters and none for strikes.
Pollock leads at second, and there's a good hook.
That was a good one.
Even count. Painted a corner. Pretty pitch. 1-2. According to the Braves game notes and Toussaint's game log, the most pitches he has thrown in a game this year is 104. That was on July the 5th against Norfolk. And bounced foul. There's a 103 now. There's been some stress with all the bases on balls, but this the most stressful inning for him, I would think. First and second with 1 out.
Yeah, because he's getting a little tired.
Big pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a ground ball hit towards second. Might be 2. Nope. Throw to first. Dansby had too far to go with the play at second base. So Ozzie took the sure out. Runners now at second and third with 2 down.
I'm glad Ozzie didn't just automatically backhand this, and hope that Dansby got there. But it's a shame because it might have gotten him out of the inning. And as it is, he's going to come out of the game anyway.
So Toussaint goes 5 2/3 of shutout ball. The runners aboard belong to him. Nick Ahmed will be the hitter. And the Arizona Diamondbacks have to look longingly toward the Braves dugout as their former #1 pick has shut them out in Game 4 to this point. Start today of Touki Toussaint was extremely refreshing.
Absolutely it was. 5 2/3 innings, a 2-hit shutout ball. The runners on base still belong to him. 5 strikeouts. The only thing that soils it a little bit, 5 walks today. That was one of his 4 keys, bases on balls.
Braves have pitched around him to this point. Luke Jackson's the pitcher. Nick Ahmed the shortstop, who's walked twice and fouls this one back. 4 strike 1. Brian Snitker is bringing in Luke Jackson after Touki because Jackson has been a strikeout in inning guy. In fact, he's been almost an 11 strikeout per 9 inning guy. A punch out here would obviously end this Arizona threat and preserve a 2-0 lead for Touki.
2 appearances in this series for Luke, an inning and a third. 1 hit, no runs.
He's ahead of Nick Ahmed. And the pitch. Chase that. These Diamondbacks like to swing the bat. Ahmed's no exception. He entered today with 94 strikeouts in 454 at bats. They're averaging almost 9 strikeouts per game as a team. That's 3 innings with no contact, which is exactly what Atlanta would like here with a 2-strike count. You've got a whole lot of pitches to play with in this spot. And a good try in the dirt. And a nice stop by Flowers. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was a good stop. That looked like that landed way out in front of the plate in that soft stuff. Oh my goodness, way out to that. That's when, as a catcher, you don't know where it might go. It spins back to you, but just try to do the best you can to get in front of it.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Ahmed. And now Jackson's ready. Line drive into center field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Descalso toward the plate. The throw's off target. And it's a game-tying hit. And it's a no decision for Tukey. So at 2 strikes, Ahmed, who's had a huge series against Atlanta, picks up his 6th hit. And it's new life for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, we've talked about the Diamondbacks players that are coming back to haunt Arizona. Well, how about this guy? Boy, did he do a nice job of getting up on top of that high pitch. Leveling off on it. Good charge, good try by Ender, but no chance to get Descalso.
Yeah, that high pitch is a really effective pitch if you get it higher than high. But as Tom Glavine has told us so many times, it is such an unnatural thing for a pitcher to try to do. You're taught, keep the ball down. And then in a run scoring spot, when you don't get it higher than high, it's in the happy zone for a hitter. And Avila and company delighted as Nick Ahmed brought home the game tying runs. So Avila 0 for 2, Ahmed at first. A 5 RBI series for the former Brave farmhand.
And whatever the difficulties were on that ground ball to Ozzie of getting Dansby over to the bag, may have cost him the 2 runs, not being able to have a chance to try to turn a double play.
Yeah, that's where the shift or that overplay cost him a chance to get out of the inning. So if the shift gives, sometimes it takes away, and it certainly has here in the 6th. With Ahmed, a 2-strike single up the middle to tie it up at 2 apiece. So the Braves will have to start over in the 7th inning. It's 2-2. And Ahmed chased back here with 2 outs.
Hitters come out on deck for Robbie Ray. It's like Peralta.
It is. 3 balls and a strike. There's a good hook, full count. So Ahmed will be running with a full count and 2 outs. Braves have had trouble with shutdown innings in this series. They got a 2-run lead in the top of the inning. Arizona's come right back with 2 of their own. But don't despair, it's still a 2-2 game. Runner goes. The pitch bends around the plate. Jackson was on his way to the dugout. He thought he had his man struck out, but it's another walk. That's 6 issued by the Braves in the game. Was it a strike?
Never had the plate.
So Ray is off the hook. He can't lose it, but he could win it if Peralta could put him in front.
Nice weapon to have coming off the bench today. Right at a 300 hitter, having a tremendous season. A little cold right now, but a good weapon in this situation.
Yeah, he reached 5 times last night. Walked twice, singled once. Reached on a couple of force plays and fielder's choices. He's got 5 hits in the series. And has walked twice to boot. Braves have walked 27 men in 3.5 games in Arizona. And he walked to Descalso after getting ahead with 2 strikes, has turned into the game-tying run. That and a 1-2 single to Ahmed. So 2 on, 2 outs. Peralta, the 7th man to hit in the 6th inning.
We've seen him be overly aggressive in this series on the first pitch, and he didn't even really offer it that curveball.
Ground ball the other way. That's a base hit. Acuna charges. He will not have a play. And Peralta with a pinch hit single puts Arizona in front. 2 hits and a walk allowed by Jackson after 2 out.
Hanging breaking ball there, and literally just fought it off, but into the ship. It's an RBI.
So again, you walk people, you turn the lineup card over, and you give good hitters second chances. And unfortunately for the Braves, 2 walks in the 6th inning. A ground ball hit to second off the bat of Steven Souza. Dansby had too far to go, I suppose, to try to turn 2. The throw went to first for the 2nd out. That brought in Jackson, who got ahead of Ahmed, who rifled a single on a 2-strike count to center to tie it. A walk and a single later. Now Arizona leads 3-2. Now we go back to the top of the order, and John Jay. And Carl up again in the Braves bullpen. Sam Freeman is up again in the Braves bullpen. It's Sabatka, beg your pardon, Sabatka in the bullpen, my mistake. So 2 on, 2 out. Jay, the 8th man to hit. He's walked, singled, and bounced out to first. And he was swinging for the fences. Strike 1. He was looking for that fastball after the mound meeting, and a good choice by Jackson to throw something that wasn't straight.
But he gets ahead, and that should help.
Colorado rallying at home. It's Dodgers 8, Rockies 6. That game's in the 8th. Arizona with 3 in the 6th has its first lead today. There's a huge break. That was a foot off the plate.
Just a bad ball. He might have been looking curveball, got it, and was going to swing anyway. Good stop.
So another full count pitch, this time for John Jay. back. A good rip at it. The runners were going as you'd expect.
That pitcher's in a better spot. Needing a strike. Didn't throw it down the middle, hit a good spot down in the corner. Needs to try that again.
So again, a 3-2 pitch from Luke Jackson, his 19th of the inning. Here it is. Line drive, just foul. That missed clearing the bases by inches.
So close.
Jay's going to see an 8th pitch. And he singles into center field. That's going to score a run. Arizona leads 4-2. Luke's gotten ahead of a couple hitters, but hasn't been able to finish them off. And John Jay, with a big league at bat, extends the lead. And that'll be all for Luke Jackson, who could not retire a batter.
And it was on a breaking ball. Stayed on it. Didn't hit it particularly hard, but with the runners going, that was an easy RBI.
Rough outing for Luke Jackson. He's given up a couple of runs. The Braves have surrendered the lead. Novus, the bank of here. Before we get to the 7th, we've got to find a way to get out of the 6th inning. Braves are going to have to use a 3rd pitcher to get 3 outs in this inning, as Arizona has scored 4 times. 2 out runs have killed the Braves in this inning, and Chad Sabatka will try to restore some order with Escobar, the hitter, the 9th man to bat in the inning.
Chad worked a 3rd of an inning last night, issued an intentional pass, but no hits or runs. One of the things, we've been talking about the bullpen a lot and hoping to get some fresh arms and rested arms and things of that nature. But I think one of the telltale signs about what's going on with them, they're not getting any strikeouts.
No. No,
It's hard to find a strikeout from anybody in the bullpen in recent days.
the Braves used 7 relievers last night. Didn't get a strikeout. And that one's caught by Dansby and retires the side. So Sabatka bails out Jackson, but not before a 4-run score. Atlanta's going to have to come back against Arizona's bullpen. It's a tired pen, too. We'll see what happens next.
As we check out the Sherwin-Williams painting the corners feature, and this is an at-bat by Tyler Flowers earlier today against Robbie Ray, where it looked like Tyler was locked in on him. Had some good hacks at some fastballs, laid off some bad breaking balls, until finally Robbie Ray got him with a breaking ball right there. Good at bat, tough at bat, ran up his pitch count a little bit, but Robbie Ray won that battle.
But Robbie Ray is no longer the Braves' offensive problem. Brad Ziegler is. He'll come on to try to protect the lead in the 7th inning. As we've said, to use a NASCAR phrase, both of these bullpens, I think it's safe to say, are leaking a little oil as they head down pit road. And Arizona's relief corps, last 7 games, 4 losses, a 5.18 ERA. They've given up 14 earned runs in their last 24 innings plus. So Ray has a chance to win this game as Arizona gave him 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that's why I think it's going to be so interesting to see how Arizona does in their next series. This staff, as good as it's been, goes to Denver for 4 games with the Rockies in that ballpark, where they have played well, but you know what Coors Field can do to a pitching staff.
Ziegler, as you can see, if you've not seen him pitch before, does not throw hard. Arm angle is all part of his deception. Sinker, slider.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Tyler has struck out twice, and now it's 3 times. Swing and a miss. Hat trick for the Braves catcher, 1 away in the 7th. This guy is so crafty, and he's been around so long. He will lull you to sleep and just start pitching to right-hand hitters, especially further and further outside, trying to get a chase, and that's what he got Tyler to do for the first out. Here's Ozzie. He's bounced out and walked. And Floats over the outside corner, generously called a strike. That's got a piece of Avila behind the plate. It's 0-2.
77 on that changeup.
I know it seldom happens in a big league game anymore. Would Ziegler be a guy that you try to move up in the box against to try to take away that break?
Especially for the left-handers, who can all but eliminate anything in.
The 0-2 pitch is slapped down the left field line. That might get down and turn to gold. It will. It skips toward the corner. Ozzie on his way to second. He'll stand there with one out, and the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate. Ozzie hasn't had many extra base hits. In fact, that is his 5th extra base hit in 33 games. But it's a big double with one out, and now Ender's coming up.
And it wasn't even a strike, and he was doing a good job of looking for everything away, middle away, and stayed on it.
Braves have scored 232 runs this year from the 7th inning or later. They've had their share of heroics offensively in this series late. Need a couple to get it tied. Braves have scored 7 runs in this series after the 6th inning. Away, 2 balls and a strike. Told you earlier the Cubs were postponed in Washington. They've had this crazy hopscotching road trip that they were finishing up today. They just announced they're going to have to make up that game Thursday in Washington.
Ow.
Cubs go home and open up a series with Milwaukee tomorrow.
So much for that off day on Thursday.
Yep. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ozzie at second with 1 out. And back to the mound. Ziegler's got Albies in a rundown. His flip to Ahmed. Ozzie will try to stay in the rundown long enough to get Ender to second. He's done that. He'll run to the base and be tagged out. And now there are 2 out.
And because that was Ozzie's original base, Ender is the guy who is called out. And it looked like Ender was kind of telling Ozzie once they got there together, stay here, stay on the base, because he knew the rule. Good job by Albies. Stay in it. They just run him back, and right there, Ender's hanging on to him.
So Albies still the runner at second. Dansby Swanson's the batter with 2 outs. He's flied out and struck out. And Frisbee is swung on and missed 0-1. No balls and a strike. Wow. That looked low, but Ziegler got the call. Avila stole a strike there.
I think he did too.
Lucas Duda's on deck if Dansby could reach. Braves are down 2, 4-2. We're in the 7th. And the pitch is banged towards short. And a long throw, close play, and just in time to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, shutdown inning for Brad Ziegler. The 7th inning stretch presented by Synovus is coming up. Let's send it back to our studios in Atlanta. The bottom of the 7th inning, Arizona with a 4-run 6th has the lead. Let's see if Chad Sabatka can hold him right there and give the Braves bats a chance in the 8th and the 9th innings. It'll be Paul Goldschmidt, A.J. Pollock, and Daniel Descalso coming up.
He got the rally started last inning with a ground out. Then they went on to bat around.
So the old couldn't have done it with you at bat.
Right.
Or Paul Goldschmidt. Dodgers had a run in the 9th inning. They lead the Rockies 9-6 at Coors Field. Colorado, the top dog in the division. If LA wins that game, they would leave a half game behind. If Arizona wins this one, they'd be a game and a half behind. So a lot on the line. Braves have already picked up, or taken off, I should say, a game from their magic number. The Phillies already lost today to the Mets 6-4. Showed you Michael Conforto hit a 3-run homer at Citi Field today. Phillies have lost 7 of their last 11 games and are now 74-68 on the year. If this score holds, and we hope it doesn't, the Braves would head to San Francisco, still 3.5 up in the East.
Either one of the two teams, if they just went on even a 5 or 6 game winning streak, would really make a huge difference.
It's incredible. The Braves entered play today, having dropped 9 of 15 games overall. Think about this. In late August and September, the Braves have lost 9 of 15 games, and they've actually gained 1/2 game in the standings over the Phillies. Three-two pitch, and another walk.
Another leadoff walk.
Yeah, it's really an epidemic, and it can't continue. It's cost the Braves dearly in this series, and it cost them in the 6th inning. 2 walks, both of them scored. 2 runs, the difference in the game. So here's Pollock. He's singled and scored. He moved up on a pass ball in that 6th inning. It was a big play. And Pollock now 1 for 3 on the day. Another one gets away from Tyler Flowers, and another runner moves up. A wild pitch.
Couple of wild pitches today, a pass ball.
Right there, a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Four runs, 5 hits for the Diamondbacks. 2 runs, 3 hits for Atlanta. The Braves have left 3. Arizona has left 7. There's one of those higher than high pitches, and at 97, that usually works. It's 1-2.
That did not appear to be a guy trying to move the runner over from second either, did it?
No. Line drive to right. And Markakis to a knee makes the catch. His throw is going to be way off target. So it was a productive out for Pollock. Remember, he got their rally started with a base hit the other way. Nice piece of hitting in the last 2 innings for Pollock. And an insurance run. Goldschmidt is 90 feet away with 1 out.
Got the job done anyway.
And here's Descalso. Braves got ahead of him but lost him. Descalso walked and scored the 2nd of 4 Arizona runs.
Putting him on.
Yep. Set up the double play, and Souza the batter. Braves got the ground ball they wanted from Souza.
And if they'd been able to turn a double play, it would have saved them 4 runs.
Yep. See the way the Braves are positioning Souza now, just how far Dansby would have had to go on that potential double play ball. Look at the territory he would have had to cover. You might have gotten the out at second base on that play, but there was no guarantee of that either. So Ozzie threw the ball to first, got the 2nd out. That was the last pitch Tukey threw. And then after Nick Ahmed came up, Braves got ahead of him, a ball and 2 strikes, and he singled to center to tie the game. Arizona's tied the game a lot in this series with 2 strike hits.
They sure have.
So here's the biggest play in the game defensively for the Braves. It came in the 6th. Look how far Dansby had to go. 2 hops. Who knows, maybe Souza was surprised the Braves didn't try to turn the double play. So that worked out for Arizona. We'll, I'm sure, find out after the game what Ozzy's mindset was in the biggest defensive moment of the game to this point. Braves are looking for their first strikeout from a relief pitcher since the 7th inning of Game 2. It was Kyle Wright that struck out Peralta. That's the last one.
There's been a rash in this series of innings where the Braves have scored and haven't been able to shut down the Diamondbacks. Immediate response from their offense. Sixth inning, evidence of that today.
That's way high. There have been 8 such innings in this series, where the Braves have scored in the top half and Arizona has scored at least 1 run in response. 2-2. There's a swing and a miss. There's an aggressive sequence, and there's the first strikeout for a Braves reliever in quite some time. 2 outs. And that's the other thing when you think about playoff action and postseason play and major league bullpens. Chipper Jones talked about that a lot. Strikeout stuff in bullpen innings, that is critical.
Power arms.
Because as we've said, so many things can happen merely by putting the ball in play. Advancing a runner, like the Diamondbacks did in this sequence, is a very big play. So 2 on, 2 outs. Here's Ahmed. He's been the villain. He has been on base a lot.
That's a good slider from Sabatka, and obviously he has a good fastball. He struck out Souza on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. But if he's throwing it for strikes, it's pretty straight. It's right over the top straight. And major league hitters can usually get some timing going on something that's straight. I don't know if he has a 2-seamer. Might be a good idea to work on one.
Ahmed has been on base 9 times in this series, and remember, he didn't start in one of these 4 games. Runner at first goes. The pitch is skied towards center. Ender on his horse, still going back shy of the track, and he'll haul it in to retire the side. So here we go to the 8th inning. Braves will go to their bench. Then the top of the order is coming up. Still a manageable game. It's 4-2 Diamondbacks.
It's time to take out your Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation.
Diamondbacks, who will go head-to-head with Colorado, the division leaders, part of this brutal stretch of 17 straight games against division-leading opponents for Torey Lovello's club. He's going to make a couple of changes here and take down Brad Ziegler. Looks like Ketel Marte has grabbed a glove, and he's going to come in as well. So Ziegler pitches the 7th inning, strikes out a man, gives up a double. Arizona trying to protect a 2-run lead as the Braves come up here in the 8th. For Arizona, Jake Diekman is going to come on and be the second reliever for the Diamondbacks. The Braves brought up Preston Tucker to pinch hit. That's what necessitated the pitching change. So Tucker's been taken down and burned by Atlanta to bring Charlie Culberson up in the 8th inning with nobody on or out in a 2-run game. Need to get the Braves bench going. They're in a collective rut offensively.
Yeah, Charlie's 0 for his last 12. Diekman last night gave up a home run to Suzuki. An inning and 2 hits. 1 run.
Bouncing ball toward third. Nice play. Long throw. Got his man Escobar. Terrific defender. Made an outstanding play to his right.
He sure did. That saved a double. And made a good throw.
So here's Ronald Acuna. Remember, the Braves did not have a hit until they had 1 out in the 6th inning. Touki Toussaint got the first Braves hit. Acuna followed on the very next pitch with a home run to right to give the Braves a 2-0 lead. But Arizona answered with 4 in the bottom half. So Acuna now 25 homers, 53 RBIs. Margot, Freeman, and Markakis due up next for Atlanta, as that one spun outside and missed badly. That's downstairs. What's so exciting about Acuna, Joe, it seems to me he's really learning how to use all fields again.
That and his patience at the plate. He didn't have much patience at second base today with nobody out when he tried to steal third, but he's getting good looks, he's getting good counts, and getting good pitches to hit.
Made Diekman throw a strike. Now all bets are off. 3-1 the count. We have another crazy finish in store in Game 4 in Phoenix. It's the crazy 8th. Why not? And there's ball 4. So Diekman walks Acuna. Nope, beg your pardon. That was called a strike.
Yeah. That
wow.
was a gift.
And that ball 4 all the way. 3-2. Okay, that one's ball 4. Now we're sure. Thank you very much. And now Camargo's the batter. Johan is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's riding a 4-game hit streak. He's got 6 hits in that stretch. He's settled in nicely into the 2 spot. We know how good he's batted hitting 5th for the Braves. And he's got the whole right field side of the infield to play with if he wants. We've seen Johan hit the ball the other way a time or 2. Braves need some runners. They've got Freeman and Markakis to follow here. No balls, 1 strike. Ouch. It's 0-2.
Late afternoon sun in Phoenix and a big skylight above the left field grandstands, third base line. Casts that shadow that kind of arcs all the way into center field.
Acuna, a nice lead. The 0-2. He's bounced foul. Johan fought that off. It's a final in Colorado. The Dodgers won 9-6. Here it's 4-2 Arizona. The pitch is banged toward third, slowly hit. There'll be 1 play. It's a long throw to first, and Escobar made it. Runner at second for Freddie Freeman with 2 outs. I know they missed Jake Lamb. I know how good a player Jake Lamb is, but Escobar has had a very impressive defensive series against the Braves.
Struggled to get his hits in, but he's played real good defense. So again, we talked about this last night with Freddie and Diekman, that this is the type of left-hander that Freddie hits. Had a base hit off of him last night.
That makes him 5 for 17 head-to-head. A hit means a run and would bring the Braves to within 1. A long ball would tie it up. Freddie hit that dramatic home run against the Red Sox in the 8th inning to put Atlanta in front briefly. In the wrap up at SunTrust Park, his first homer against someone other than the Marlins since the 1st of July. And he's ahead of the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Acuna at second with a 1-out walk. He moved up on the ground ball to third base. 2 outs. And now the 2-0 pitch is sharply hit to center field, a base hit. Here comes Ronald around to score. We got a 1-run game. Great call, Joe. Freddie hits Diekman. He just hit him, and it's a 4-3 score.
I don't know what it is. I think because of the way these left-handers like he and Conley drop down, throw sidearm. It's like all of a sudden Freddie is just focused. He stays in there. He's not trying to do anything but hit it back through the middle, which he did right here. Picked up a big run.
84 RBIs for Freeman. And now Markakis could put the Braves in front if he could launch. He's hit the ball on the button 3 times. Great play by Descalso, robbed him of a base hit last time up. This game is not over by a long shot. Now 4-3.
That was a throw over like he didn't really want to do that. He didn't have confidence to really zip one over to Goldschmidt.
Nick Markakis has hit Diekman well. Small sample size, but he's 2 for 5 head-to-head. And a slingshot slider in for a strike.
Freddie stole his base last night on a left-hander. Chafin actually got picked off, but a bad throw by Goldschmidt didn't get him at second base. So don't be surprised if Freeman takes off here.
Little roller. Diekman's got it, and the flip to first is in time, and that retires the side. However, it's Atlanta's turn to cash in a base on balls. Freeman brings home Acuna to make it a 1-run game.
Continues for the Braves. They're going to hit the road for San Francisco tonight. And I have some good news for you guys. It's a 3-game series with the Giants, but Bumgarner pitched today, so the Braves will not have to see him. Our coverage in Game 1 starting tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern on Fox Sports Southeast, and of course, always streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Taking a look at our Verizon probables, who we're going to see in Game 1. It'll be Sean Newcomb. You see him there right now. He is 11-8 with a 3.92 ERA, and he will take on Mr. Derek Rodriguez for the Giants, who is 6-2 with a 2.41 ERA. Again, our coverage starting at 9:30 Eastern tomorrow, guys.
Thank you, Kelsey. Derek Rodriguez, the son of Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge. Probably helped teach his son the finer arts of pitching from the perspective of a great catcher. So, some unfinished business in Phoenix. The Braves are down a run. Critical inning for Sam Freeman. He will face Christian Walker, who's going to pinch hit. Then it's Ketel Marte, then John Jay. 4-3 game now. Sam perched atop the mound. Might be having trouble seeing the signs here.
Walker pinch hit here a couple of nights ago and hit a laser off that overhang in left center field. Just missed hitting a homer.
And that missed downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves should have some familiarity with Christian Walker. He was very briefly a member of the Braves organization. He was acquired by the Braves on a waiver claim February 25th last year. He was in camp with Atlanta until March 6th of last year when the Reds picked him up on waivers. Then Cincinnati traded him to the Diamondbacks for cash. And last year at Reno, he had a big year. 32 homers, scored 104 runs, and then got to the big leagues for the first time with the Diamondbacks. 2 home runs in 12 big league at bats.
Definitely has some pop in his bat.
Does he ever? And maybe the shadow is playing havoc with the hitters too. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walker was the Pacific Coast League MVP last year with the Reno Aces. He got a hit in the division series against the Dodgers in the playoffs. And I would think all those left-handed pitchers LA has, that would be a very valuable game-changing bat to have coming off the bench.
And this is what they want him for. Very little chance he's going to get a start anywhere. But coming off the bench, he is a weapon.
And a swing and a miss, high and away, took care of Walker. Good start to the defensive 8th for the Braves in a 4-3 game.
Visit your nearest Advance Auto Parts store to get the quality parts you want from people that know a lot about them.
1 up, 1 down for Sam Freeman. Here's Ketel Marte. He's 1 for 9 in the series with an RBI. And in for a strike. San Diego and Cincinnati were plugging along. That one's tied 6-6. It's now raining in Cincinnati. Miami and Pittsburgh postponed. The Cubs and Nationals postponed with the game to be replayed on Thursday. Sunday night game is Houston and the Red Sox from Fenway Park. A potential ALCS matchup. Swing and a miss.
I wonder if the rain's going to threaten that one.
No balls, 2 strikes. Would it be something if the Cubs have to go back to Washington and that tropical storm and hurricane is bearing down and there's bad weather again? I wonder if baseball would be proactive and go ahead and try to reschedule that game somewhere else to ensure they get the game in. Base is empty for Marte here in the home 8th.
Yeah, it's usually the kind of thing you worry about in April, not in September.
I recall years ago the Cubs and Astros had a game washed out because of flooding in downtown Houston. They played that game in Milwaukee. Carlos Zambrano threw a no-hitter. I doubt Milwaukee would be so kind in helping out the Cubs this time of year.
I would not expect that.
And that one bounced a good 3 feet in front of the plate.
And then I think hit Tyler in the mask.
Yep. Braves have walked 8 hitters and are still down only 1 run. Popped up back toward us. Let's see if a fan can make a good catch. Hit right off the railing in front of some fans right below us.
Been a lot of Braves fans here this weekend. They were wild last night.
Had over 40,000 here, and there's a walk. Marte was behind in the count, and the Braves lose him. Next weekend, Fox Sports South is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month during the Braves broadcasts. We'll share stories throughout baseball and the Braves organization. Catch the celebration next Friday and Sunday on Fox Sports South and Fox Sports Go, presented by Nissan.
That's 9 walks today by my count. 1 was intentional. 2 have scored
in a 1-run game. Here's Jay. 2 singles, a walk, and an RBI. Lefty-lefty matchup. Mentioned the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. Please take note of the schedule. On the 15th and 22nd in Atlanta, those are Saturday games, originally night games. Those have been picked up by Big Fox. Those will be 1:05 starts. So if you hold tickets for the game on September 15th and September 22nd against the Phillies, if you come to the ballpark at 7 o'clock, you'll be very late. So please adjust your schedule accordingly for 1:05 starts on the next 2 Saturdays at home. How about this number? The Atlanta Braves in Arizona have thrown 3 consecutive games of 9 walks. Can you remember that ever happening?
No.
The 0-1 pitch. I remember a couple of years ago when the Braves were in the very early stages of their rebuild, and they had all kinds of trouble getting outs in the bullpen. It wasn't through bases on balls, it was through base hits. That's incredible. 27 walks in 3 games. And then 4 walks in the series opener. So that's 31 walks in 4 games. And we're not done with this one. Ball in the dirt. And Marte moves up. And Sam is digging a trench in front of home plate with his pitches. So he tried to get Jay to chase. He didn't. That ball in the dirt cost the Braves a base. A wild pitch. And now a hit could mean a run with 1 out.
Talked about how the Braves had not been able to shut them down when they score. Here's another opportunity.
He's going to try for third. The throw there is going to be in time. So both the Braves and Diamondbacks have a runner thrown out at third base. That's a strike him out, throw him out double play, and it ends the 8th inning. How about that? Thank you very much. Arizona might be taking a look at this just to be sure. And for the moment, Jay is struck out and Marte is out at third base. Is he? A glancing blow on the left shoulder and the call by Joe West. And Arizona is not going to challenge. So Freeman gets out of the 8th inning. Last call for the Braves. Brad Boxberger was getting ready. Tyler Flowers scheduled to lead off the top of the 9th. Last call for the Braves. They're down only 1 run as we head to the 9th inning. 4-3 is your score in Game 4. Join us for the final bobblehead giveaway of the year, Saturday, September 15th at 1:05 p.m. First 20,000 fans at SunTrust Park get a Mike Fultonevich designed bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola. Go to Braves.com/tickets today. Jeff Mathis is behind the plate. Brad Boxberger is on to pitch the 9th. Tyler Flowers will lead off. He'll be followed by Albies and Ender Inciarte.
Boxberger has a loss and a save in this series already. Did not pitch yesterday. Looking for his 33rd save.
Yeah, Boxberger and Archie Bradley have been, shall we say, dinged over the last couple of weeks. Braves need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead, and Boxberger gets ahead, strike 1.
Fastball, changeup, slider. Slider is his 3rd pitch.
And with each passing moment, the shadows have moved closer and closer toward the Braves dugout. I would think the Braves will have a much better look at Boxberger than Arizona had against Sam Freeman a moment ago.
I would agree.
Ground ball, that's through for a base hit, and the tying run is on for Atlanta. Tyler Flowers with his first hit in 4 trips, and almost certainly Lane Adams will come on and pinch run for him. So we got action in the 9th.
Always making it exciting. They don't quit with Snit. Tough day for Tyler. 3 strikeouts, comes through with a leadoff single.
Braves have 55 last at bat wins since Brian Snitker became the manager, and in fact the last 5 victories overall have come in the last at bat for the Braves this year. So a fast man at first, big shift on. Arizona thinks Albies is going to try to bunt. He didn't show it as Boxberger threw to first. Albies with a double last time up. If he can provide one of those here, almost certainly the Braves would tie the game. And a good take outside. You know how aggressively Ozzie swings the bat. That's a big pitch in this sequence. Now Boxberger has to wonder what Albies is thinking.
When you take one that you figure he's going to hack at and he doesn't, it does put a doubt in your mind about, well, I thought he was supposed to swing there. Now what do I do?
Line and off the glove. Everybody's going to be safe.
That was a hard hit ball chip, and as terrific a series offensively as Nick Ahmed has had, he's had a lot of bounces off the glove. Hard hit. Looked like it was going to be a line drive out. He went to his knees but couldn't come up with it. Right off the webbing.
So let's manage along with Brian Snitker. Is Ender going to bunt here? You know he can. 2 on, nobody out. A golden opportunity for the Braves in the 9th inning.
If he does, he'll want to push it to third. Escobar's in on the grass. Make him field the ball.
Down and in, ball 1. He showed bunt. This has been an unbelievable series. I said earlier, the wild, wild west. That is exactly what we've seen in these 4 games. No lead has been safe. Neither offense has quit.
No, and you just don't turn your TV or radio off when the Braves are playing because of the way they finish games.
So the Braves are trying to give Arizona an out, and Boxberger has missed badly with the first 2 pitches. Ender has 3 sacrifice bunts this year.
He's trying to make it hard on Ender to push the ball to third. He's trying to drop that down and in, but he's not throwing it for strikes.
Goldschmidt creeps in. There's the bunt, but it's fouled off the catcher's gear. 2-1 the count.
Get it down, then run.
So from 2-0 to 2-1. Tyler Flowers with a leadoff single. Lane Adams pinch runs for him at second. Albies with a line drive off Ahmed's glove. Another hit. The pitch. And he took it for a strike. So Boxberger back in the count. Is the bunt still on?
If it is, or I'm going to say it's not. I'll bet he takes it off, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Ender still try to bunt on his own.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out.
That was just a fraction off where he called strike 2.
How's that not called a strike? Glad it wasn't.
Now then, you want to send the runners? I think that'd be a good idea and still leave 1 runner in scoring position at least.
Adams can fly. He's at second, not going. The pitch swung on, belted. Deep right center field. That ball is
Who'd we talk about before the game? The old Diamondbacks. And Ender knew that was gone as soon as he hit it. Ender might have been the most excited guy in the ballpark last night on that great play by Dansby Swanson, hugging him and telling him had a baby. Well, now it's Ender's turn to get those pats on the back. Boxberger can't look.
Mike Butcher's going to come out and talk to a shell-shocked Brad Boxberger. We told you, as the Braves bullpen has struggled in this series, Arizona's has been running on fumes as well. And Ender Inciarte absolutely vaporized a ball to right center field, 432 feet.
Wow.
And the Braves have turned this game around. It's 6-4. With nobody out in the top of the 9th.
That ball went over the pool into that far corner, that landing out there. Well, I'm glad he didn't get the bunt down.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. So Arizona's beleaguered and battered bullpen takes some 9th inning lumps. It's a 2-run lead. The Braves could use a few more as this one's lifted toward left center field. Long run, Jay, and Pollock is there to join him. And there's the first out. And Lucas Duda is going to be the batter, but he's not going to face Boxberger. Boxberger 1/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs, no walks or strikeout, and the go-ahead homer for Ender Inciarte. And right now the Diamondbacks look shell-shocked, and they're headed to Denver next, where a 4-game set with the Rockies is looming. A capper for Ender Inciarte. A mammoth home run. Let's look at it on StatCast AI powered by AWS.
433 feet over the pool. Wow. Big triple last night. Big homer today.
So Juan Lopez makes his major league debut. Those were his numbers at AA this year. The Diamondbacks signed this guy for an $8+ million signing bonus. And as we mentioned earlier in the series, there is some very interesting history between Lopez and Dansby Swanson. Remember, Dansby was the #1 overall pick by Arizona. And while playing in a simulated game in July of 2015, Lopez, as this ball's cracked deep to right field. Long home run for Lucas Duda.
Welcome to the big leagues, Mr. Lopez.
And Lucas Duda hits his first homer as a Brave. It's a 7-4 lead.
I love the smile. Breakout.
No doubter.
No doubter. Two of them. Not quite back to back, but two no doubters in the inning.
But I was saying, Lopez hit Dansby Swanson in the face with a pitched ball in a simulated game. And Dansby said, it was my first day as a professional. And now Lopez has given up a home run to the first big league hitter he faced as Lucas Duda hits one out 417 feet away.
Yeah, I think the simulated game was like in one of the, when everybody that they've signed reports to the spring training site or something like that and have workouts before they're assigned their various teams to report to. And it was that type of game where Dansby got smoked by this guy.
What an amazing turn of events for Atlanta. This ball is hammered toward the gap. That's going to get down and roll to the warning track and wall. Ronald might be thinking 3. He's around second. He's on his way to third. Relay throw is going to be late. It's a triple for Acuna. That's the 5th hit of the inning for the Braves in the 9th.
Fastball ripped. Duda hit a fastball. Ender hit a fastball.
And so this tough schedule for Arizona is coming back to bite them here at home as Camargo bats with the infield in and one out and popped up out of play. The Braves will get a refresher going to AT&T Park in San Francisco, a big ballpark. Night games, ball doesn't carry there. Arizona has no such luxury. They play at altitude here in Phoenix. As this ball is launched deep right field, it's going to be another home run. The Braves are pouring it on in the 9th inning. And the story of this series might be who ran out of pitching first. And it looks like it's Arizona. Inciarte a homer. Duda a homer. Camargo a homer. And the Braves have scored 6 times and still have only 1 out.
3 homers and a triple in the inning. That was a breaking ball and again a no-doubter. My goodness.
So Lopez has faced 3 big league hitters. 2 homers, a triple, and 3 runs have come in. Camargo needs some Flintstone vitamins. His only went 385 feet. Another pitching change for the Diamondbacks as the Braves have blown it open in the 9th inning on the road. Three home runs that had vapor trails attached to them. Unbelievable. Ender Inciarte, a 3-run shot. Duda, a solo shot. Johan Camargo, a 2-run homer. And now Jimmy Sherfy is on to pitch. We've not seen him yet in the series.
He's got a good arm, throws hard. Fastball, slider, change. But got to be a little wary coming in after what he just saw. Those kind of fireworks.
Ground ball is fouled. Troy Lovullo has been very vocal about the struggles of Archie Bradley. He said the way he's going, he doesn't want to use him unless there's a low leverage situation. These games have been so close and so back and forth. Really hasn't been an opportunity for Bradley to pitch after he gave up 2 runs in the second game of the series. But Joe, how's Arizona going to climb back in this race and win the division or make the playoffs if Diekman's struggling, if Boxberger's struggling, and they have to go to their bullpen 5 or 6 times to get 3 outs?
It's going to be mighty tough,
especially against the quality of opponents they're going to be facing and the ballparks they're going to be playing in.
Well, just taking the next series in mind in Colorado, as you talked about, the way the Rockies played in Atlanta, we know how good their offense is. And I don't care who it is. The Dodgers were just in there. They gave up 6 today.
Freddie Freeman hooks one toward right. That's going to get down in the sunshine. Okay. Here comes Freddie with 2 hits.
He's back. When he does that, when he goes down and hooks that, he's back. Stamp of approval.
So neither Boxberger nor Lopez nor Sherfy have retired the first batter they have faced, and Atlanta has sent 9 to the plate in the 9th inning. Nick Markakis the batter with a runner at first. And for Arizona, I mean, this might be the defining stretch of their season. It's going to be 4 in Colorado, then they go to Houston for 3. And come right back without a day off for 3 with the Cubs. Meanwhile, if Atlanta can get 3 more outs, their magic number to win the division will be down to 16. And more importantly, they would have a 4.5 game lead in the East. The Phillies lost today 6-4 to the Mets, who scratched Jacob deGrom because of inclement weather. Corey Oswalt started, and the Phillies couldn't beat him. Braves got back-to-back singles to start the inning. Whole ballpark thought Ender was going to bunt. Instead, he hit one of the longest home runs he's ever hit.
That's right. Probably one of the longest of his life professionally.
So he joins the cast of double-digit home run hitters for the Braves. Swanson, Markakis, Freeman, Culberson, Camargo, Albies, and Acuna. Atlanta with 3 ninth-inning homers. And they're not done yet. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's pulled foul into the seats. So Braves country, hope you're getting as excited as we are. The Braves were down in the dumps coming to Arizona from Boston.
I would love to know what that conversation is. Camargo's on fire down there.
Heck, everybody is now, as this one's fouled away. Big emotional lift when the Marlins beat the Phillies. Braves were staring at a 2.5 game lead in the division. They're 3 outs away from going to San Francisco with a 4.5 lead and facing a Giants team that's not scoring runs. The Braves won't face Madison Bumgarner. The pitch. And we were all saying the same thing. If the Braves can get out of Arizona with a split, yeah, we'd take it.
Right.
And it was looking like that was the best they were going to do. Down a run entering the 9th inning. But Boxberger and Lopez have surrendered 6 runs. And a bouncing ball the other way. Glove flipped to second, 1. That's all they'll get. And Freeman is forced at second. Markakis is the man at first. Lane Adams, who came out as a pinch runner, will now get to pinch hit in the same inning. Don't often see that.
It's a wonderful thing.
Number 18, Lane Adams.
Adams started the year with the Braves. Elected free agency, signed with the Cubs. Was playing at AAA Iowa, then found his way back to Atlanta. And now he's got a chance to maybe be on a playoff roster.
Well, he changed his swing coming into spring training. He was going into leg kick, kind of like Turner in LA. Some of their players might have even gone to one of their hitting coaches to talk about that, including launch angle, and it really hurt him and ruined his chances essentially in spring training.
Yeah, he did such a good job off the bench.
Yeah.
Big hits.
Why would you change?
Hit a bunch of home runs in the final days, as this one's going to be flipped to second, and that'll retire the side. Ahmed couldn't make a play on a line drive off the bat of Ozzie Albies, and that seemed to wake up the Braves. 3 long homers. Ender 432, Duda 417, and Johan Camargo only 385. Big inning for Atlanta. 6 in the 9th. Braves have a chance to win 3 out of 4 with 3 more outs.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is sponsored by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
Last time the Braves hit 3 homers in an inning was April 14th, 2014, when they turned the trick against the Phillies. They hit 3 homers in the 9th inning in Arizona, and that gives Brad Brock a chance to get the last 3 outs and send the Braves to Frisco on what should be a very happy flight. 9-4 Atlanta as Brock faces Eduardo Escobar, the Diamondbacks' third baseman.
May not get Camargo on the plane. He's hit 3 homers in this series. Kind of likes it here. Brad Brock on to work. Did not pitch last night.
Talked at the start of the broadcast about the former Diamondbacks and the big series they have had. Touki Toussaint, let's not forget his excellent work. 5 2/3 innings of 2-run ball. Ground ball left side. Tough play, Dansby. He made it, and the stretch is going to be not in time. Infield hit for Escobar. That was a terrific play by Swanson to make it as close as it was. But the leadoff man is out for Arizona. And the Braves, I think, are going to take a look at this on review. Thought I read Walt Weiss's lips and say he was out. The Braves are going to challenge this one at first.
He's out. There's another guy that landed on top of the bag instead of hitting the front edge. Maybe the difference maker here.
Braden Schlehuber and Tomas Perez do a great job on replay for the Braves in the locker room. And they got that replay turned around very quickly. And again, I read Walt Weiss's lips nodding and saying he was out. That's why the Braves are challenging.
Pick. Got it. Foot up in the air.
And he's out. It's a great play by Swanson, the former Diamondback. So on review, Escobar is the first out. And here's Goldschmidt.
Terrific play by Dansby again.
A strike from Brad Brock. Weather in San Francisco, I believe, is going to be in the low to mid 60s.
Yeah, it's going to be a little cool.
But how refreshing will that be after the heat and humidity of the south and 100-degree temperatures outside Chase Field for this series? Braves open up a set with the Giants tomorrow night. Braves live at 9:30. First pitch 10:15 from AT&T Park. Braves owe the Giants some payback, if you recall.
Sure do.
San Francisco came to SunTrust Park and looked like the 27 Yankees. This one's driven toward right. That's slicing away from Markakis, and Goldschmidt's up to his old tricks. Nick fell down at the line, and Goldschmidt's going to make it to third base without a play. Nick's feet went out from under him as he got to the foul line, and it'll be a 3-base hit for Goldschmidt. His 6th hit of the series.
Good sinker, too. Let's see what Nick slipped on. Warning track.
So here's A.J. Pollock. Again, it's a 5-run lead, but the way the late innings have been in this series, nothing is guaranteed.
Take nothing for granted.
Down and away, 1 ball, no strikes. The Giants came to Atlanta May 4th, 5th, and 6th. They beat the Braves 9-4, 11-2, and 4-3. Fly ball headed toward shallow right. Ender's going to give way to Markakis. The Braves will concede the run. That's a sac fly for Pollock. His third of the series. His third RBI of the series, 57 for the year. Braves gladly will trade the run for the out. It's a 9-5 game. Eldemaro Vargas is the final hope for Arizona. And the Braves haven't won a series in this ballpark in 6 years. They're an out away from taking care of that. A 6-run ninth against Boxberger and Lopez.
It was like a fireworks show,
wasn't it? Flowers base hit to left. Albies a line drive off the shortstop's glove. I mean, that could have been a double play. It was hit so hard.
Yeah.
Went a trickle away from Ahmed. That brought up Ender in a 1-run game. We all thought, okay, is he going to bunt? Got to 2 strikes, didn't get the bunt down, and then vaporized a ball to right center. After a fly out, Lucas Duda came on. He hit one out to right. Acuna tripled. Camargo then homered. And 3 pitchers later, Atlanta had a 9-4 lead. And now Atlanta's a strike away. Braves fans on their feet at Chase Field. The 1-2 pitch is caught on and missed. What an unbelievable series in the desert. Atlanta's magic number is 16. They're 4.5 in front of the Phillies. They've taken 3 out of 4 against the Diamondbacks. Their first series win here, Joe, since 2012.
I don't know what else to say except I'm just constantly impressed with how this team never quits. The perseverance, the stick-to-itiveness, just a great job. In some very long games here, by the way, 2 extra inning wins, and to come back and win like they did today is just awesome.
They never quit. The 6th consecutive Atlanta win via a last at bat. That is unbelievable perseverance. Atlanta's magic number is 16. They beat Arizona, take 3 out of 4. 9-5 is your final score. A lot of fun stuff to talk about on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. That is coming up right after this.